I have still 7-8 minutes out there. Okay, so I'm just checking my time and all. Sorry for that. I know lunch is always very important. Okay, so this is more about changing the radical way and things what happens. And there is one very interesting survey which was done by MIT School that everyone knows it is happening. Most of you sitting in this room, you know before me telling you this transformation is happening. But we are all like the CEOs of many of the organizations. This is a survey which was done by Capgemini and MIT School. And they said 90% of the CEO, they believes that they are moving into a digital economy. They know that this industry is going to be impacted by that. They are aware of that. But less than 15% of them do something about that. Because as we talk, actionizing on that is the most important thing. And you know, we can have, like, as Murli sir was telling, ideas are diamond also. But someone has to implement it up, and it's not easy to implement it up. And that exactly is coming up even out here. So this is a new ABCD, friends, which we need to know as a professional accountant. We call it as automation and AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, and data analytics. This new ABCD, I would say, you know, when we have to reframe ourselves, there is a term which we call it up. It's not, you know, I've all of heard about this term, right? Which is the strongest species? Which is the strongest species, guys? Which is a very big, elephant-like kind of thing? Or huge or big? What is the species which is there? They're saying the species which is going to survive is the one which adapts. And for adoption, we have something called as relearn and unlearn. You have to unlearn some of the stuff and relearn. As Anurag sir was talking about, as accountant, if you have to learn Python, it may look very odd for some time, right, sir? But it's actually kind of, you will be enjoying it up after a point of time. Because the kind of thought process which we have a muscle memory in terms of doing things. And that becomes important. Now, automation and AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, and this. If I start talking about that, I can have a full day seminar, so I don't want to talk about that. We still have less time. I'll just skip a couple of slides, guys. But the reason why it's all happening is two things, I would say. This slide quickly I'll cover it. Okay, sorry. First, there is an explosion of data. We have a huge amount of data which is coming out. And we don't know what to do with that. We are generating, have you seen the ERPs in your organization and all things, how much data we generate out there? And second is, this slide took me some time to make. What you see on the back of my thing, I'm a very, like we are accountant, right? So we are always very conservative in all our approach. So I don't donate to any charity. I only donate to two charities. In my life, that's the only two charity continuously I'm doing. One, how many of you have heard about Linux Foundation? So Linux Foundation is one group which makes many of these technologies out there. It's an open source technology. And second is Akshayapatra. Those are the two I actually do because Akshayapatra I audited long back. I know they basically do. But you see all this technology out here? These are open source technology, which means you can actually start using it without paying one rupees. Only thing you have to invest is on time and other things. So these two things changes. Now coming to this ethical leadership, I'm sorry I'm rushing it through that because of the time. Can you please survive for another 5 minutes? Sure? You're not going to curse me, right? Thank you. Okay, now with your permission, 5 to 6 minutes, I'll finish it up. How many of you know this guy? Anyone knows this term, Skynet? Okay, so what's that, Skynet? Terminator. How many of you have watched Terminator movies? Okay. So who will tell me what happens to this Skynet? Why was Skynet made? It was made to help humans, right? So Skynet was, okay, anyone else, are you guys not watching this movie? Okay, today's homework, go back, go and watch all the Terminator series movies. There are 6 series, Arnold Schwarzenegger is there. So what they show in Skynet a neural net-less artificial intelligence. And they show that machines is built by US to control all the nuclear warheads and everything, okay, fundamentally. And this nuclear warhead, what happens is, they say whenever we are under attack, we will give the control of all our arms and ammunition to whom? To this machine. So the machine will take best decision. It's better than humans. So the first decision the machine takes when the powers are given there, humans are the reason why this earth problem is there. So let me eliminate all the humans. And that is the story starts, right? All of my friends who have seen it, and Arnold, so there are the way they say. And that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good machine and there are bad machines. So that's the kind of thing the whole story goes. But if you know Skynet, you understand ethics well. Every technology can be used in both ways. There's a dual-edged sword. Now when it comes in our hand as a professional accountant, don't you think I can use it to, if you've heard about one very interesting case, we had a case of HP Autonomy. HP, Hewlett Packard, bought our company in the UK called Autonomy. They paid $11.8 billion to buy that company, and in 6 months they wrote off $8 billion. Why? Because the autonomy people have used softwares to inflate their sales. The passing of entries were done by machines, not humans. And they said, how much, is 2 plus 2, how much you want it to be? There's a joke which goes over accountant, right? So what is 2 plus 2? They said, how much you want it to be? We'll do that. And they did it up. Now, that was kind of a bad use of technology. I hope you're getting my point where I'm coming from. But imagine the same situation if we could have used it to automate it. Now, we have a technology like Skynet in our hand. We need to use it carefully. It can actually turn either side. There are learning and a lot of guiding principles. If you are aware of, like as CMAs, we know you are a member of IFAC, International Federation of Accountants. They have been actually talking about that technology is great. But as professional accountant, we still have to make sure that we understand the decision making should still be with the humans. We have to know whether it's good, bad, ugly. That part cannot be given to machines. And there are challenges. Today, machines have biases. You know that? I'll give you one quick example, the last example before we wrap up. Oh, there was a very interesting thing which happened in California. So they said, we are going to have a database of all the crimes which has happened in the state of California. Okay? When we record the crime, we know the latitude and longitude, which is the location where the crime has happened. Now, there is a kind of a thing that if you have a police car in that area, and in the night that beacon is going around, chances of crime will go high or go low? Low. So they said, based on the past crime data, the car will be automatically told by the computer which location to go and park itself, so that it is near to the vicinity of any crime happening, it can reach fast. It's actually a real case. Now, they made it up with big fanfare, politician came, they cut the ribbon, and it was up. In 6 months, there was a complaint started coming. You know what was the complaint? More and more police cars are getting into which area? Black neighborhood, not in the white neighborhood. Crimes are happening in white neighborhood also, but they are going and only staying in the black neighborhood. It is racist, right? You are trying to say black people are more criminal oriented compared to the white areas in US, in California. When they re-audited the whole AI, you know what did they find, friends? They find that someone has given a weightage of 48% on the which neighborhood is there. So other factors are there, but more weightage is given on what? Black or white area. A racist would have programmed it. And that is the reason we have biases in systems. Those biases has to be removed. You know, how we present that information, the same question we have been asking from time immemorial, is the glass half full or half empty? It actually has to be coming in the perspective. So, friends, I just want to complete it with a final statement. We need to understand that digital era, what we talk about, has begun, is not going to change. And it's on us, how do we take our leadership in this story? We need to, I would say, train ourselves to be able to ride this kind of thing. You know, first time when you rode a car or a bike, you have to learn how to do that, how to leverage it out. The technology is also something like that. We have to have a transformational mindset, and only then. Thank you for your patience hearing and not.
Thank you for this amazing session from both Arindam sir and RNG. So, may I request the chairman to throw concluding remarks.